So YouTube family, I'm going to flat out just say it. Shedeur is going to drop to the bottom of the draft, possibly to the top of the second round. But most likely with all the hate and the favoritism going on, the pre-biased opinions, we already know what this is going to set out to be. So it made perfect sense for him not to be at the draft ceremonies. Even if he was invited, which he was, at least I hope he was, the way these things are going on, we got to be honest about the whole thing. We got to be vocal about it. I'll be using clips and videos to match up with it, but we've seen a lot going on in these theatrics when it comes to the NFL draft.
When you talk about why is it so hard to evaluate Shedeur, to me it's because where is the elite trait that he has? I don't think that he has an elite, but guess what? Tom Brady didn't have elite traits either, and he turned out to be, so you can't just go off of that. But that's why I think it's so hard to evaluate him. His arm strength is an elite, his size is an elite, his speed is an elite. So what
his pedigree is elite.
Absolutely.
I don't get in trouble off the field, so it's kind of hard from the create storylines for the media to keep that algorithm going. So it's just gonna be fun with the next story.
How would you feel about sitting behind a vet to start your career? Would you be okay with that?
If that's the way that things play out, and that's how it play out. I wouldn't question what God has planned for me.
Yeah, I love that. I love that.
I mean, a day or two ago, he went to see Mike Tomlin over in Pittsburgh, and that basically explained the story even more further for us. Because if you know you're supposed to be a top 3 draft pick or whatever, why would you need to be going to see the Pittsburgh Steelers? Now, there's a lot of things that can bring it up why he would need to, but let's look at this report. Now, as the report shows, this was a highly publicized situation when he went to Pittsburgh, because if you're a football fan, you know they hold the number 21 overall pick. That's at the bottom of the draft, y'all. And I would be happy to be drafted anywhere in the NFL, but this is Shedeur Sanders. If we're being honest, I mean, it's Shedeur. There shouldn't be any situation which Shedeur falls backtrack and goes towards a situation where he was never predicted to go to basically his entire career. All of a sudden, a month and a half prior to the draft at the time, these negative hit pieces are coming at him like many quarterbacks who are similar to Shedeur Sanders. Now, look, we're going to show more clips and highlights and break this down, but let's hit me with my intro right quick.
Smoke Hip Hop Live, but forget that nigga I smoke. Come down over here and come rock with my man and let it be good, man. Yeah. Salute. Yes, sir. Myself a YouTuber because I'm actually in the community and it get uncomfortable. So when dudes like you and kings like you saluting me, thank you, bro. I appreciate it, man. You beautiful family. Nah, you, cause Nick, let me cut this off. Man, what's good, YouTube family, man?
You already have, outtake, your frequency, man. You have good energy, bro.
Yeah, I'm like, bro, you inspire me a lot. You don't even realize it, man. But it's good to see somebody on YouTube in real life. You're a real person, man. One man, so one thing, I understand your motivation and your appreciation to the youth. Good.
Yeah, I was all right. It's the field, man. It's the field, man. It's tough field, man. Hey.
Let's just be honest. Shedeur is not just battling defenses on the field and he's worrying about the X's and O's. He also has to battle the people who are in the booths, the people who are in the studios, the broadcasting networks. I mean, let's just be honest. They don't really like the Sanders brand, even while smiling with you. This has always been a fact. Now, Shedeur actually gave his synopsis on the situation when he went to Pittsburgh. He was actually in the airport doing several interviews, particularly with the NFL Network. This is what he really said about his meeting with Mike Tomlin and the Steelers.
I feel like you've had a long, eventful day as you're coming to me from Pittsburgh's airport. You get to the facility. What is the first thing that happens? Then what?
You see everything. I enjoyed my time in Pittsburgh. I think I connected well with all the coaches, and it was real fun.
What's the one takeaway you had from the time you spent with Coach Tomlin?
I understand the mindset and why they win a lot.
Why do they win a lot?
Just how he is as a person, and just the values that the team has, and where he preaches from his staff down is similar to like my dad.
Okay, if you
So while Shedeur was on this media tour for this NFL press, he did an interview with Michael Rappaport, and it told us everything we needed to know about Shedeur. Now, Michael is going to ask Shedeur, how does he feel about this whole process? Shedeur is going to explain, you know, he's okay, he's loving it, but he goes a little bit deeper that shows proof to me, and I know a lot of you guys too, it's frustrating, it's dehydrating, it's tiresome. You guys be the ones to judge and tell me, what did you think of Shedeur's answers to Michael Rappaport?
Have you enjoyed this? I mean, it's hard. You got to, and you haven't done a ton of travel, but some, obviously, and you're literally in the airport right now, so clearly traveling some.
Yeah.
But has the process been fun, or is it just a grind and you're like, get me to draft night?
It's extremely fun. I feel like we're gonna just start. It's just funny to see what they come up with next. You know, because at first it was the arm wasn't strong. I had a lot of touchdowns in my college career. Then it was I pat the ball. That wasn't a thing before pro day, wasn't it? So
I personally do think he's tired, and I will continue to show you more proof. But let's move forward and talk about certain things. Like, for instance, you got Jackson Dart, who's now being looked as the top quarterback in the draft after Cam Ward, that is, but over Shedeur. Not only that, there's seemingly to be teams out there who are saying that Jalen Milroe from Alabama is possibly a better prototype quarterback than Shedeur. And the only reason guys are liking Jackson Dart, let's just be honest, he looks like the typical franchise quarterback. He's 6'5" and up. He has a stature to him. And we've been seeing teams pass up on basically franchise story quarterbacks for the so-called Barbie doll looking type of man. And it's almost a situation where you don't want to say it's unfair because life isn't fair. But these type of arguments are getting redundant. When looking at Shedeur's stats, it's overwhelmingly showing you clearly this guy should have been the top 3 quarterback in the draft. I mean, when you look at what he can do with his arms, he got comedians like Gary Owens looking like a flat out stud receiver. Okay, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but just to show you how he can counter and get acclimated to any environment around anybody, this guy has always been around the limelight. Nothing really flatters him or whatever other than wins. Losses doesn't even rattle and shake him. He can come back and show promise and what made him be known as the elite quarterback that he was until a month and a half ago, which is weird but not shocking at all. So now a lot of Saint fans have been rumbling through the Twitter sphere and a whole lot of social media platforms. And they're like, at number 9, Shedeur will be drafted by the New Orleans Saints. We just seen a situation that happened to Derek Carr. If you guys don't know, Derek Carr has been dealing with a shoulder injury that has yet to heal up properly. He actually regressed through his healing process, and it looks like he might miss the entire season. So it made sense that many people in New Orleans and Saint fans in general would be supporting for the organization to draft Shedeur. But based on other reports, we don't really see it going that way. Like I said, a lot of teams and experts, so-called experts, are now looking at Shedeur as a second-tier quarterback that really belongs in the second round. Not my words. I've been viewing him as a first-round quarterback, top 5, if not number 1, for the last 3 years. 3 years. But we know this game and this charade, what goes on. Now, there was a scrub quarterback by the name of, listen to me, you don't know half the story about Baker Mayfield if you aren't a football fan or fanatic like the rest of us. For everything they say about Shedeur Sanders, this guy Baker Mayfield didn't meet any of the measures on the so-called prototypical quarterback. He was short, he was loud, and guess what else, ladies and gentlemen? He was a drunken fool for most of his college career. Oh, you don't believe me? Let's look at it.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Fucking done. I'm done. Are you kidding me? I'm done. I didn't. Put your hands behind your back. I didn't say anything. Put your hands behind your back. It's behind my back. It's behind my back. It's behind my back. It's behind my back.
Yeah, that guy. Not only did he manage to scathe the situation and none of the pundits really talked about it, he did more unflattering things during his college career, but we're not going to get into that. From the posting the flag in front of the opponents and causing rifts and fights, from previous allegations from females and dudes who said certain things. But I'm not trying to bash Baker Mayfield. I'm not like the other group of people. I'm out here to show the hypocrisy. And I know I just mispronounced it purposely. Pay attention.
We'll be right back after this commercial break.
Thing, man. Trying to get it live. Ain't no way you could be poor when folks got more money than you and me, and they killing themselves every day.
I don't think money's the issue. It's just that each and every individual need to step the game up.
Yeah, I was all right.
Did the field, man. Did the field, man. Tough field, man.
Hey, gang, hit that like button if y'all think he look like low or not. Tell me if I'm tweaking, man.
But be too sad.
I don't really care about Thanksgiving. On us, on a day like this, what a brother man should do to each other to look out for each other.
Give each other. Everybody believe what they won't believe. New Orleans is New Orleans. You gotta be here.
Yeah, man, I'm over here in Atlanta right now, man. I'm gonna give the team $20 each. The only person I could ever respect, man, is the legend Soldier Slim. You want one? Tell me if I didn't eat the chicken yet. I ate the fish. Is it good? Thank you. Next thing I ate. Entrepreneur right here. Say your name to the folks.
Man, what's going on, man? It's your boy Manny Dollars, man. Mr. Stubbs himself, man. I'm out here. Yeah, with a whole lot of drip, man. Y'all tap in with me now.
Cuzzo got. You see what I gotta do here? I gotta give back because as a dude who's been sleeping in certain conditions, coming from a certain family, people give back for Thanksgiving and they want a reward for it. I don't even put this crap on camera.
Oh, you better. This is my song, and as the credits go up, I'm gonna take a little time to get my life together. It seems like I'm.
God bless you.
God bless y'all.
Now, Shedeur has been getting a couple of supports from key figures in the media, one like Dan Orlovsky. I can't pronounce his name, but I never used to like Dan. He used to go out his way to over-critique certain quarterbacks who favor Shedeur, but now he has grew to become one of my favorites on the Dine program that's known as ESPN. But check this out, how he brings up the quietness that people are afraid to bring up, how the double standards that lie within the media, within the executives of the NFL and the scouts and the so-called professionals. Watch how he brings up about the Baker Mayfield situation.
So before I get to that, I do think it's important to point out two parts of his comments. I think one, we can't praise Baker Mayfield and fall in love with Baker Mayfield because of his charisma, cockiness, his self-belief, and then kind of view it differently with Shedeur. I heard a lot of Baker listening to Shedeur and the confidence, and I think it's great. I also loved his answer when he talked about why he threw, guys, and when he said, well, there were some teammates of mine that didn't get to go to the combine or didn't get invited, and I knew if I threw, all those teams would come from the NFL and they would have his teammates would have the necessary eyes. I love every part of that answer because that's leadership.
Now, Dan wasn't the only one to defend Shedeur. I also like a couple of my guys like Robert Griffin and his wife, I think that was his wife, how they spoke on actual facts regarding Shedeur and the over-critique of him.
Don't punish the sons because you don't like the father.
Yes.
If you dislike LeBron, that is not a legitimate reason to dislike Bronny.
That part.
If you dislike Deion Sanders, that's not a legitimate reason to dislike Shedeur. Allow these young men to prove their mettle on the court and on the football field.
Now, I want Shedeur to remember a quarterback by the name of Lamar Jackson. He's pretty much going through the same thing you went through, Shedeur, but worse. He was a Heisman winning quarterback. He didn't do the things that Baker Mayfield did, that is, until Ozzie, the general manager at the time of the Baltimore Ravens, was the only guy, and a brother at that as well, to take a risk and a chance on Lamar damn near at the end of the first round, which was weird. But check what Lamar said to all his haters while being around your father, Shedeur, because your dad felt the same passion in Lamar Jackson. And I love this greatest speech ever by a player that got looked as the underdog.
I can see it in your eyes. I can see you a little bit upset, a little deterred. But guess what?
I'm here.
It's here. You're here.
I'm a Raven. It's on. All year. Every year. Yes, sir.
What could you have done differently that you could have gotten out of that room quicker and got drafted earlier in your career?
Nothing. I'm happy to be a Raven. It don't even matter.
Yesterday does not matter. You're looking forward to today.
I'm looking forward to being a Raven.
What are they getting?
Everything out of me. They're going to get a Super Bowl out of me. Believe that. Believe that.
Now, the reason I brought that up about Shedeur, he needs to look at Lamar Jackson's situation, because it has been overwhelming for Shedeur. When you look at him, he looks like he's not getting real rest, even if he's sleeping early, meaning this thing has become crucial. It's becoming in a way where it's affecting him on how he speaks on his interviews. Like, check this interview out, how he's barely even speaking. You can tell he's tired already. He's frustrated.
We're just really just getting to know each other. That's it.
I mean, I've seen what you can do with the 1-11 team. Is it even fair? Should you be allowed to go to a 10-win team like the Steelers?
That's on the people. That's on the other franchises that make that mistake and let me go there.
Then in that very same interview, he gets asked a question about Louis Riddick, and Louis Riddick, who actually supports the Sanders family and always speaks up for them, he kind of gets offended based on the questioning. I think because he's tired, he thinks everybody critiques him. So pay attention as the host. She's going to ask him about Louis Riddick, and he's going to say, I don't know anything about Louis Riddick, or something to that extent. He never spoke to Louis Riddick.
Louis Riddick had something to say. He said he doesn't think you want to be drafted in the top 3. Is there truth to that?
I have never spoke to Louis Riddick in my life. So I don't know what he's talking
about. It's sort of like in God's plan. You don't know where you're going.
What was weird about that is he actually did speak to Louis Riddick before. I think it was during a pro day or some type of workout. So it was bizarre to me that he would say that he's never spoke to Louis Riddick in his life. And notice how he emphasized in his life to insinuate that Louis Riddick is just lying about whatever was said. But check this video out where he did meet and talk to Louis Riddick on national TV.
Tell him what does Shedeur Sanders need? What do you hope to get out of the NFL to help you reach your maximum potential as fast as possible?
All I need is opportunity. Simple. Whatever franchise want to change their franchise, and there's no doubt who to go with. I've done it over and over and over, so you'll be a fool not to pick me.
And Louis mentioned again how
Coach Prime has always shown us who Shedeur Sanders is and what he's capable of. One beautiful thing I love about Shedeur is the ability to be a real leader, not just on paper or whatever, to know your guys, the human side of your guys. Look at him and Jimmy Horn Jr., who we all know the story and background of him from Florida, left USF, went to Colorado. We know the situation with his father. We've seen the viral videos in court where his brother Shedeur, the quarterback, showed clear value during this pro day situation here, how he prayed with Jimmy Horn. I mean, in today's world on society and pronouns and all this hoopla, it was beautiful to see a brother pray with his brother.
What time is it?
Now, listen to Mike Tannenbaum, how he explains perfectly clear on Shedeur, because we all know Shedeur might drop in the draft, and scouts and former general managers and executives like Mike Tannenbaum, he understands this. So he kind of subliminally calls out all the teams that he knows that will pass up on Shedeur with positive reviews and rave reviews. So instead of critiquing these teams, notice what he says to lift up Shedeur Sanders.
The team should trade into the top 10 for Shedeur Sanders. I think Shedeur Sanders is going to be a good NFL quarterback. I keep comparing him to Kirk Cousins, who's had a really good career. And I think part of managing the draft process, guys, is be opportunistic. This guy is tough. He's been sacked 94 times over 2 years. He's only missed one game, led the nation in accuracy. I know a lot of the balls were short, but when you're tough, smart, and accurate, you can win a lot of games with a player like that.
I agree with Mike. Now, what's insane here is the hoops that players like Shedeur has to keep jumping through. He has to jump through all these obstacles. Meanwhile, guys like JJ McCarthy, although he played for a national champion Michigan team, we knew his arm was never that much up to par with NFL caliber quarterbacks. This is what we heard about Mike, not McCarthy, that is JJ McCarthy. I said, can't believe I said Mike, but we've heard so much things about JJ arms being weak. He's not really a top NFL caliber quarterback, but he still got drafted within the top 5, top 6 pick last year prior to tearing his ACL. Now, all he did was perform on an actual pro day, and all of a sudden the scouts went crazy. None of that makes sense. They question his character, how he treats people in the media, yet when we watched actual footage of him in the media, he was grade A perfect.
I've been through 6 different OCs, so I'm able to adjust to any offense and every scheme and make it work. We went from Jackson State to Colorado and changed 2 programs back to back. So you don't think I could come to an NFL franchise and change a program again? It's history. We done it again. It's always going to repeat itself.
His dad has flat out taught him how to be a leader by never sympathizing with Shedeur and treating Shedeur like he was better than other players. Let's never forget it started in Pop Warner, including high school, when Shedeur would somewhat act out on the field. Deion was always there to act accordingly and put his son in the right place, even if he had to scold him in front of everybody.
Don't you ever do this. Do you understand me? Do you understand me? Yeah. Do you understand me? Yeah. You're a man. We don't play like that.
Oh, you piss me off. I didn't think you get kicked out the game for that, but I did. So I just had to take off my pads.
At this point, we can only be honest about the situation. We can only look at it for what it is. And even the video with Louis Riddick, I didn't really like that because it's telling me that Shedeur has been dealing with the burnt and blunt of things, so he doesn't know how to really combat it other than being professional. And when you're trying to be professional, aka fake sometimes, because we know what professional is, be different than what you really are and act this way for the cameras. And that's not Shedeur's fault. That's the way this fake world want a lot of us to pretend and portray ourselves. So maybe in that glimpse of a minute, it caused them to retaliate against Louis Riddick. But my thing is, don't turn into a Travis Hunter, how he started lashing out against his actual supporters for his situation that he couldn't handle. And that's all I'm saying to you, my guy. You seen what Lamar Jackson said. Use it as fire right now, because I don't know where you're going to be drafted at. At once upon a time ago, even with all the hate, I still seen you in the top 5, but the way things been raveling and going on with the Giants giving your number 2 number to another player, we kind of know where this is going to go. It's not shocking, like I keep telling everybody. This happens over and over again. Now, what I need you to do is focus. It's easy to become a victim of the media and the so-called professional analysts that claim to know football. But it's another thing to give in to them, but fall back and know who you are. Know that you're Shedeur Sanders, the winning quarterback of the Colorado University. Look, I'm DJ Bless One, the best one. Love your family, love your kids, and stay blessed.